You know, like invest $100, make $1 million within like months. Or coming into trading, like if you're going to come into trading, you better have a psychologist, bro.
How do you overcome just pushing the button?
So it's just push the button. If you lose, you learn. If you win, you buy a Rolex.
Through a rough patch or like a losing streak, what do you do to pull yourself out of that?
Cry.
The strategies can be super simple too.
If you want to be good at trading, be dumb.
Tell me what you want. What you really want. I wanna be down.
Welcome to the Big Wick Energy Podcast, the podcast where we light up the world in day trading and finance with expert insights, candid conversations, and a whole lot of energy. I'm your host, Rihari Carroll. Joining me today are my incredible team who work tirelessly behind the scenes so that they can provide you with all the insights that you guys get, and we can run the business as best as we can. This episode is all about getting to know the faces and the stories behind our education platform. So, without further ado, let's meet the team. Let's go. Start with you guys.
Start with me. Shucks. On the spot. Hi guys, my name's Ali. I'm just happy to be here. So I'm part of the marketing side of things, working on all the socials and going over the trade breakdowns, making all those animations for you. What else I do? Just here for the moral support, really. Hey, yeah, I'm like your extra added confluence.
Nice.
I'm Slade Montgomery. I'm part of the signals side, so I help run the signals and give the alerts and all that, and help with the education platform as well. Mentor side, I guess you could say, and I'm also here for the good vibes.
I'm Briar. I'm also part of the signals area. Gosh. And another mentor in the team, so I help run the education platform as well, making sure our students can achieve the success that they've come in to see and that freedom that they desire. And yeah.
Damn.
Nice. Stoked to finally have you on the potty. Hey, if you don't know, we're down in Queenstown right now, and got the whole team together, and we've just met Briar. We just met Briar today, so good times.
Great times. So, we're thrilled to be sharing our stories with you guys. We're going to get to know everyone. We're going to go through like a few questions, see what everyone's answers are, because they're bound to be different. So, give you guys a little bit of insight on our stories, and yeah, see how it goes.
Nice. Exciting.
We'll start things off easy with an easy question.
Quiz time.
I'm so nervous right now. Why am I nervous?
For what? Like questions?
Yeah.
All right. First question. What got you guys into trading, and what was the thing that kept you in trading ongoing?
Oh, okay. Great question, Huddy. What got me into trading? I pretty much was just looking for extra money. Wanted some extra cash, and felt like I seen some people trading online. My sister dabbled in trading, and she was pretty successful. So I saw the money that she made in a short period of time, and I was like, cool, I'll just give this a nudge. And it was pretty tough at the start, but pulled through. And I think what pulled me through was just seeing the potential in like compounding interest, profits. What else? Yeah, that was pretty much it, really. The money side of things. That's what kept me going. Yeah.
I feel like that's like a huge male thing. Well, I'm not too sure yet, but I feel like it's a huge male thing because it's a similar thing to me.
Yes, so I think for me was my uncle got me into it, And then it was money side of things, but also it was like the freedom you get to, you can travel around and you can still work from wherever, and then also you can make big, within seconds. And so that was what brought me into it. And then what's kept me in was my drive and ability of perseverance, of wanting to succeed. And then also I think it was, wanting to have a better future for me and my family. I think that's what the biggest drive was, to keep me in, so that we can have more holidays.
Nice,
If
guys.
everyone doesn't know, bro's just shouted his whole family down to Queenstown.
Yeah.
That's bro. That's the one.
Yeah, that's cool.
And like, what was it? Like, it was your first pay from joining the team, and you took them out for dinner.
Yeah, it was for anybody know, in Auckland City there's a all-you-can-eat buffet in the city, and it's like on the weekends it's about like 150 per person. So it was like, when I paid for it, it was like they gave me the bill, and it like I wrote my name on it, and I was like, wow, this is mean. Like just chuck it in and then buy it, pay for it. I was like, that's mean. I was like, I want more of this. So that was the drive.
Facts, man. That's awesome.
I guess what got me into trading was, as most of us do, come across someone on TikTok or somewhere and, see the life they're living or claim to live in some respects. But just seeing that and seeing, the freedom it can create for you, not only your immediate family, but, the generations to come. And I guess as corny as it sounds, for me it was hugely about what I could help others achieve. I saw that and I saw how many mums, how many other stay-at-home parents can I help achieve the same success if I can make success in this space first. And so that's kind of why I'm here doing what I'm doing now, is to help as many people as I can achieve that, as well as obviously the ability to do things like we're doing right now, taking my family away for, the week to Queenstown and just kind of going out, experiencing whatever we want to experience, and the freedom of that.
Nice.
Nice, bro.
She like Kane's like acting like she doesn't know what she's going to talk about. She like is the best answers at all.
The gift of the gab.
Yeah, pretty much. I think for me, I mean, like we've heard it a little bit in the previous podcast and stuff, but yeah, it was similar. Like what got me into it was pretty much wanting to make more money, wanting to make extra money, alongside my job that I had at the time. So yeah, for me it was all about the money, and then what kept me in it was the potential of money that could be made. So yeah, all about money. Nothing to do, like the whole education side of things, like that came from just, people wanting it, like people asking and, things like that. So there was like those little things that stemmed from it, but I never initially thought I would be an educator kind of thing. So getting into this game is like, if you're not really getting into it in terms of like trying to make more money, then I don't know. I feel like it's like not for you. Being good at this is the byproduct of being good at trading is money, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's so true.
I think on that topic, what would you guys say is the most common misconception in trading?
Most common misconception. What do you mean?
As in,
That's a big word.
it's too late for that, hey? As in when people come into trading or they see these videos online that might draw them into the space,
Yeah.
what's the most common thing that they kind of, I guess, underestimate or, anticipate as one thing, and it's really not when you come in and you actually experience the space?
Yeah. I think, like for me, what I think people are thinking when they're coming into the trading space is that they can invest very little amount and make a ton of money. Like invest $100, make $1 million within like months. Or, come in, do like a month of learning, and then, you know, all of a sudden they're a full-time day trader sort of thing. Right? It's funny because I've had like a lot of people, and like they'll be doing like 6 months of learning, and then they say to me, "Oh, bro, like I'm thinking about quitting my job. I'm going to put some money in a trading account. Do you think like I can just follow the signals and, you know, blah, blah, blah." And obviously like our signals progress that we've had, like win rates, amazing. Our risk to reward, amazing. But to be able to catch all of it, you have to have the psychology behind it. So people don't understand that when you're coming into trading and you are trading money, is like there's a massive psychological barrier. So for me, like that's what I think the misconceptions of most people are.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm in the same boat. I think when you watch TikTok and Instagram and you see all the socials of people pumping out money like nothing, you think, you know, you're going to do the same, you're going to get the same results in a short amount of time. Like people think that you can just pick up trading and just be profitable in like, you know, a couple of weeks. That's probably one of the biggest things that people don't realise. It takes a lot of work.
I think on that too, like with our success, or like, you know, even me, like I've been trading for like going into my 4th year full time, right? But like you see people like Q Banks, Lambo, and you don't realize, like these people are like massive on YouTube right now, but you don't realize that they've spent like minimum 7 years getting to that point. Whereas like this is going into my 4th year. You've been trading for
a couple of months.
What? But like, you know, started trading in January. You were like November. Oh, well, you started with us in November and then beforehand doing a little bit there. And you were like, what, 2022?
July 22.
That's crazy. You know, like we're in that initial period. So that's, a lot of people don't realize that either. I actually didn't realize that, like looking at these other traders on YouTube and stuff, and like these guys have been grinding it for like 8 months. I mean,
8 years.
8 months, 8 years.
Yeah, ages.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, you only see like the tip of the iceberg, eh? Like you only see just the end results. You know, like their psychology, they're like on top of it now. But like they will talk about it, like in some podcasts and stuff like that. But it will only be, you know, like one podcast. Whereas you see multiple of their videos of just being, you know, winning. You know, but they don't talk about, oh, you know, my psychology's bad here, because they already past that point now. And so now it's just, you're just seeing wins all the time.
Yes, sir.
I think one of the other common misconceptions is that trading is hard. Like, don't get me wrong, it's hard in ways, but the trading itself is not hard. And I think that is the craziest misconception, or, you know, understatement as such, that is found in trading, is people go, oh, but I wasn't good at maths. I didn't pass school. I didn't do this. You know, I'm not smart enough for that. And you don't need to be smart.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah. Like, once you can figure out a strategy, and it really comes down to just figuring out the strategy, and then the strategies can be super simple too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, you'll find a lot of traders, the ones that did drop out of school, I'm a school dropout myself, but the ones that,
I failed maths.
Put your hand up if you failed.
But, you know, the ones that are more, I don't want to use the word simple-minded, but they don't overanalyze and stuff, they will do better because they are just mechanical, they're not emotional, they are, okay, you told me to do this when it does this, done. You know? It's simple.
Do you think that's why guys just pick it up? Because, like,
they're not overthinkers.
Yeah.
I think that's why the industry is much more male-dominated than female, because
we dumb, bro.
Hey, we just say, oh, big numbers, I'm in.
If you want to be good at trading, be dumb.
if chart does this, do this.
Facts. Bro, the first, like, couple of educators that I started following and like getting into when I first started trading, it was basically like that. They'll be like, if this happens, this is what's going to happen. And it was like chart patterns. And like, although that's helpful, like that's helpful because when you see repetitive stuff happening, it's like, okay, this should happen. Just going off, statistics. But me being me, I'm like that type of person that wants to know why is it going to do that.
Yeah.
If you can understand that, it's sort of like, what's going to happen, as opposed to, you see this pattern happening, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, this pattern's happened, like a head and shoulders, up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah. As soon as the head and shoulders happen, it's like, sell that or buy that, depending, inversed or not. And I take that back to like when I was just trading GJ, and like my strategy was super simple. Trendline break, enter. That's it. And like it was so easy. Whereas like now it's like so much analysis going into it. Not to say that like I was way more profitable back then, because I wasn't. But there's a fine line, right?
Yeah, the good old saying, keep it stupid simple. Simple, stupid.
Yeah. Because I like that. Like if you can, like, entries or like whatever, keep it stupid simple. But then also you have to be able to like analyze what you need to analyze, fundamental, technically. Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned head and shoulders, because when I look back at it, if you look at a head and shoulders pattern, it's actually so it goes, creates the left shoulder, comes down, break a structure, creates the head, comes back down, change a character, comes back up, retrace, and then goes back down. Yep. That's just like because I was like looking at head and shoulders, and I like wondered why people entered on the head and shoulders. Because in my head, that was like too simple, like just trading chart patterns.
Yeah.
But it's actually just the same thing. Like it's just SMC.
Yeah. It's just how it moves.
Or like what is the cup? Is it the cup one?
Oh, turtle
where it
soup.
goes down and goes a cup with a handle. Yeah. And then like as soon as it breaks above, that's literally change character to pull back and then it goes up.
Yeah.
Which is exactly that, It's a sweep of liquidity, then a change of character, which is, everything that we utilise, but we just don't utilise it as dinosaur shapes and unicorn,
If you see this unicorn, do this.
Interesting. All right, I'll jump into my question. Slatos. I think I actually don't have a question. Don't know why I look at my phone, but why? Like, if you're going through a rough patch or like a losing streak, what do you do to pull yourself out of that?
Good question.
Cry.
Here's a pillow.
Yeah, once you cry, just keep crying. No. I think it's important to remember your reason why you're doing this. First of all, and then learn from this mistake that you've just done. If you keep on losing, there's obviously something that's similar that you keep doing that you need to keep fixing, and so once you figure out what it is, then journal it. I would say, just say, okay, today I lost this trade because of whatever. Today I lost this trade because of whatever, and then once you've read through it, and you're like, oh, actually, these are the common things that I'm doing. Let's see if we can not do those things anymore, and then and then write in your journal again, say, oh, I used to do this, but now this is the result of me, and now I'm improving. And so rather than looking at it as, I've had a bad day, I've had a bad week, look at it as, these are my mistakes. Do I want to keep doing them or do I not want to keep doing them? If not, then I want to improve and then go from there. And then you should get better and better. And so you shouldn't just like look at that as like, oh, I've gone and drawdown, I've lost all the money that I've invested in. That's the end of my life. That's the end of the world.
It's deep, bro.
You just be like, okay, that was the loss, but then just move on and carry on. So that's what I think. Yeah.
Nice.
I like it.
Forgot the freaking question. That was so like in the zone that I was just like,
Nice.
to get out of a losing streak. Well, I think looking at your trades as an overall, like look at 100 trades as a whole, not the last 10. There will be times the market is probabilities. The market isn't going to always play out to what you know. And so not looking at the handful of trades that are currently in front of you. But as Slade said, also journaling is really important, being able to look back at, am I doing something I didn't used to do that may be resulting in these? Have I changed something up that isn't working now? And seeing those common factors in that journal. Also going back and starting back testing, build that confidence back up. Go back test the strategy you're currently doing, making sure it's still working and showing yourself that I do know what I'm doing. This is just a rough patch, whatever it may be. Don't blame the market, but, it's, yeah.
I don't really lose, so. No, it's a big one. Like, what you guys touched on, in terms of journaling, 100%, you need a journal. FX replay, that's a must. Back testing, because if you can build your confidence, then it's, it just becomes repetitive. And the market is like super repetitive. So if you are watching the market every single day, you're going to see the same things happen, just, it will look different. But it will come back to, you have a break of structure, come back to a point of interest, you take the trade, It's just all about probabilities, is what you're saying, bro. And like I could go on to like my journal, bro, and like I got so many entries in here.
Yes, that's cool.
But like this is what I, put all of my shit on, and what's my last one?
Wait, so how do you do your journal? You just type it into notes on your phone?
No, journal.
Oh, like
It's
a
like
journal?
an app, yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's cool. I have to
Yeah.
download that.
And like the last one, which was from Tuesday, the 16th of December, and it says, stop going against trend when there is no clear change of character. Because I was just trying to predict the pullbacks. I was trying to predict that it was going to go through the strong lows or the strong highs. What else did it say? Could have grabbed the trade from earlier today with much more entries if I went with trend, and could have made $10,000. So like that type of stuff, I like to write that type of stuff. And like there's some that I've written like, don't do this because you're just such an idiot.
Yeah, I do that too. Yeah.
It's just that emotional thing, Yeah. For me, it's like, and I read them. Like every morning I'll go back and like read the last 2 weeks.
Oh, that's a good one to do.
Just,
To add to your routine, eh?
Just trying to, because, we're watching it today, like Dr. Joe Dispenza, and like I'm huge on like the whole mindset thing, and I have a mindset coach, which can't wait to get the podcast with him, which is coming end of August. But yeah, so I'm huge on that, and like reliving all of that stuff, like not just like you can rehearse it mentally in your head and go through that, and your body will know the exact same thing. Like you don't have to do it physically to be able to create that habit. You can do it mentally, which will create that habit even faster. So that's something that I've learned. And so going through reading the journal, but also reading like affirmations at the same time, like you are a great trader.
Yeah, nice.
You are the best in the world.
I like that.
Whether or not it's true. Like, but I'm telling myself that because I'm going to be able to. Like, I want to go into the day thinking that. I want to go into the day being like, yeah, I am the best in the world. And like, if you go into the day with a mindset like that, it's who's going to stop you?
True. Positivity brings positivity, eh? Yeah. And if you bring negative, then your day's going to be negative. So.
Trains that subconscious too. Money is abundant. At the end of the day, it flows like water. You know, that sort of
Be like water.
that sort of stuff. Just, you know, trains your subconscious when you've been fed for so many years in your life things that you have kind of dissolved into there that you're unaware of, and that is holding you back from moving forward in those spaces. And there are things that it's one of the things that you guys will get to know in trading if you move into the space, is that you will start to learn a lot about yourself.
It's so true though.
It's literally it opens you up as a
Gotcha.
person. Like it's just
Yeah.
just in general, you just start learning who you actually are, what has caused these blocks that you have in your life, these triggers you might have, these, you know, just it literally just makes you take a look at everything that you are as a person, and strip it right back.
Yeah. It's so weird how it does that, eh?
It's not
Like
be
the
aware,
charts.
because it's not just about learning, you know, to be a lawyer or to whatever. You kind of don't, I would assume, as you go into that, you don't really get to a space where you're like, who am I as a person? What has caused this trauma in my life? Like, you know, whereas trading, you do. You're probably a different person now than you were when you started.
Yeah, 100%. Coming into trading, like if you're going to come into trading, you better have a psychologist, bro.
It's so true though.
Right. Cool. So we've talked about a bunch of things, and so one thing that just popped up into my mind was, once you've figured out your psychology, well, think that you have, and you're back tested, you've got a journal, you know, you've got everything under the sun going for you. Now it comes to the live market, right? And everything's done. Now you're at the live part. This is where it gets a bit tricky, because now real psychology comes into play. Where does, because this is something that I was struggling with for a little bit. Where does how do I word this? What is like the system, or like the way of how you would enter into a trade, right? Because you know, like you have like, you know, break a structure to the high, pull back, you know, you've got the POIs and all that, and then now it's like, you know, you think that this is the spot, and you're like, okay, should I or should I not press it? And then you may miss it, and then it goes the way you wanted it, and you're like, oh, should have got in. Or like it goes the other way, and you're like, man, you know, I shouldn't have got in. But it's like there's that one fear of you that presses that button once you've finally figured everything out, and it's like, how do you overcome that kind of thing?
And then you throw it to me. Like, can I get a what's your favourite colour question?
Purple.
Yeah, exactly. Gold. How do you overcome just pushing the button, I guess is the question, right? That's a hard one, and something that still pops up, I think, in every trader's journey as they go. You'll have times where you're feeling your journey and you're feeling well, and you press the button, no questions asked. And there'll be other times where, maybe something's going on in your life, or maybe it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those times where you will start second guessing yourself. And so I think, again, going back to that back testing and building that confidence in yourself and in your abilities, and seeing the success you've already had count for something, and remembering, as we said before, that it is just probabilities, and then just close your eyes and press the button.
Yeah. And like you said, like it does show up in every trader's trading, whether you're an expert, whether you're a beginner. I think it's actually easier for beginners, if I'm honest. It's sort of like a two-edged sword. Like beginners in terms of not really understanding, like like you're saying, once you get to the point where like you've learned everything, psychology, and you're ready for the live markets, majority of the time people are going to come in, learn for like a month, and then maybe even learn for like a week or two and then jump in, trade the live markets. So many times that happens and then they lose money. But once they get, 2 weeks in and they trade, where these people like entering of like nothing at all. They're just looking at the market like, sell, buy, So it's easy at that point. But once you get to the point where like you're an expert or a master of trading or full-time trader, whatever you want to call it, it's because like you don't want to be wrong, but you never know if you're going to be right if you don't. So it comes down, like for me, it comes down to, I talk about it a lot, backtesting, keeping yourself educated, because you want to keep yourself educated as well, because, you see, you've been using this one strategy for like the last 6 months, entering, break a structure, pull back, point of interest, boom. And then you try and go and use that in a different session, and that session's slower or that session's faster, and it doesn't happen. So you got to be very specific with when you are backtesting. What session are you backtesting? Where's these pullbacks going to happen and how fast do they happen? Things like that. And I was talking to Ali about it the other day when gold was just dropping through Asian session, and because it dropped, Yeah. And so gold had like come down, created a wick, pulled back up, had a point of interest, but it hadn't had a breaker structure with body closure. And so it created that new wick, we wanted to see body closure below it. Got body closure below it, like it kept coming down and then boom, got body closure. It created like a point of interest just there. Next candle pulls back to that point of interest, which is not 50%, which is, something in our education platform that we stick by, right? But also what we stick by is entering off points of interest. So pulling back to that point of interest, and then from that point of interest, it dropped like 200-300 pips. Yeah. I guarantee you know really exactly what I'm talking about. But that's the same thing, like you've got to have that experience in the market, and that just comes from trading. You can't do anything other than trade to get that experience and being able to enter. And for me, I will enter all the time just without question, because for my analytics, I guess, like I've been doing it 3 years full time in the live market, and my analytics is telling me that although I might be on a losing streak, I'm always going to win more than I lose because of my analytics. So I try, like, the psychology does come to me like, is this going to be the one? But I try not to let that psychology come over me to stop me from being successful, because I don't know whether I'm going to be successful or not. So it's just push the button. If you lose, you learn. If you win, you buy a Rolex.
That's a good answer. I'm pretty much the same. Like, I just fall back on the analytics. I've got like a few confluences, like the magic line. If it lines up with the POI, and it's above the 50% or whatever, I'm entering that every time. Every time I'm going to enter that. So yeah, I just fall back on the data. But like, if you don't have the data, I think it's super important to find someone that does have the data. Like, find a mentor, find a community, because ever since I've been hanging out with Hardy and he's just explaining all this stuff, I'm like, bro, I've been seeing that too, but I just haven't been able to articulate it well enough for me to like enter in. And so if someone like Hardy can see it, or like, you find someone that's been in this space that has that experience, you can use their data to your advantage, so you don't have to go through 3 years of trading. Thanks, bro.
I need to charge more, man.
Cat's not gonna like that sentence. Cat.
Oh, bro. That's what it was though. Like 3 years of trading, and honestly can't believe your guys' journey. Hey, like,
Yeah, grateful.
Grateful, yep.
What is a quote that you guys sort of resonate well with or live by, for example? The heavy stuff.
There's many.
I know one that Hardy's gonna say. Something like "Fortune favors the bold."
What?
Fortune favors the bold.
No. So like, when I was on the hustle, like before I even got into trading, when I was on the hustle trying to figure out how I could become a millionaire, because that was always my dream, become a millionaire by 30. I used to watch like a lot of the motivational videos that they chuck on YouTube repetitively, and I always used to watch How Bad Do You Want It?
Do you want it? Oh.
Yeah, how bad do you want it? Like there's this guru, right?
Oh,
You know that one?
If you wanna, what is it? If you wanna succeed as bad as you wanna breathe.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah. But so I used to watch that, and then I used to watch this other one with like Will Smith, and Will Smith said he was actually on a talk show or like I think there were talk shows back then, and like now it's obviously like podcasts or whatever. But he was on a talk show, and he said, "He who says he can and who says he can't are both usually right." So what that basically means is like, if you think you will win, you will win. If you think you're going to lose, you lose because you put that into your mind. Loser.
You stole my quote.
Did I actually?
You believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. I didn't know you guys had the same quote.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know I was going there with it?
Hey,
Did you know I was going there like with that quote?
I started seeing it and I was like, no, you don't. Now I have to think of something before it gets back around to me. But hey, how good is that? That we both sort of see that same, that same aspect of life where that is a favourite quote of both of us.
Yeah. Well, it's so true.
It is, yeah. Mindset, again, back to that mindset being a huge thing, it's all in your head. If you believe you can, go for it.
Yeah.
The world's your oyster. If you believe you can't, well, you can't.
Yeah.
Like,
Winning is not for you. If you don't believe you can, winning is not for you. It's deep.
I don't really have a quote that I like. The only one, I'm a pretty chill guy. Like I go with the flow, and so like there was one quote that I always kind of just stuck with, and it's like anything's possible if you don't have a plan. So it could go bad or good,
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've never heard that.
Yeah. So I still like that's how I kind of like just live, like just go with the flow. But if you don't have a goal, you don't know where to shoot.
yeah, I think that's the hard part about that, eh?
Yeah.
It's like anything's possible if you don't have a plan, but then do you still have goals?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because like for myself, and I know you too, very goal-orientated people, and if there's not something in front to work towards or strive for, then life sort of limbos.
Yeah.
I just thought of another quote, but I'm going to save it in case you're going to say it.
I'm stuck now. You already.
Damn, these good quotes. Oh, there's also like that one. No, I probably won't say that. I might take that from Brian too. No, I was gonna because I think persistence has always been one of my biggest things, and so I always like that quote. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent.
Damn, bro.
I like it.
I like that.
That's a good one. I think the quote of failing fast too. The faster you fail, the faster you succeed, is prime in trading.
Shucks, yeah.
Like,
It's so relatable.
you're going to fail. That's inevitable. Yeah. But do you want to hold on to those failures for the next 6 months and kind of just let them dwindle out? Or do you want to just smash through that now, get it over and done with, fail as fast as you can, and then hit the sweet spot? It's up to you.
Yeah. That's something that I used to like think about, because before coming into trading, I was in real estate.
Yeah.
So failing fast was it, but it wasn't necessarily like failure. It was more or less like I was cold calling, but my like I was going off statistics then as well. And so my statistics was, if I called 100 people a night, or if I called 100 people, then I would get 10 appraisals, and then from those 10 appraisals, I'd probably get like one that would sign up a listing. So for me, it was all I had to do was call 100 people, have 100 conversations, and I would get one listing. And that was basically how I just ran my entire real estate business. Which, as you were saying, when you are failing in trading, something that I learned is, like when you fail, you want to learn the lesson. But realistically, how many lessons can you learn in trading before you can start winning? If you're not going to learn from the lesson, from your loss or whatever, then you're going to keep repeating that same lesson and just continuously lose. But if you learn, don't do it the next time, or notice when this next thing occurs, then you're learning. My turn, eh? Right. So this is one that I think is like relatable to everyone, especially like beginners and stuff that are coming in. Right. What role has education played in your trading journey, and how do you continue to learn and grow?
Education has been huge, especially like coming through the ambitious investing course, because I was learning from just free stuff online, and nothing really clicked for ages, so I was just losing heaps, and I didn't know why until I came onto Ambitious. So man, if you can find a community, find like an online course with people that you vibe with, or kind of catch a sense of like who they are, and like the way that they trade, then that's super helpful. And how do I continue, like how do I learn now, is I think just like hanging out with you guys has been the best, man. Like my trading's just gone so good since since I started, like came onto the team. We would do like staff calls, like how we used to do staff calls every day, 12 o'clock. Remember those days? We used to do
a month ago.
Hey, just waking up.
We did that like for a couple of weeks straight, eh? Yeah. And like I'd jump on, bro, I'd be on doing FX replay, and like we'll just have like a review of what happened the night before, and just doing that together, I was like, man, so you'll tell me what you saw, like the stuff that you caught and the stuff that you missed, and that helped me, like just like doing little breakdowns like that was super helpful.
It's amazing actually, because I remember there were some of those calls where you were like, I don't know how you saw half of those. Like, I don't even know what you're saying. And then now you're catching very similar entries to what those were, which is, the progress is huge.
Yeah. I mean, like that's, what the saying is like you're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. So if you can find, a community or like people like that, in any space that you want to succeed in. So
We need 2 more.
We're better.
Q-Banks.
What was the question again?
What role has education played in your trading journey, and how do you continue to learn and grow?
What role has education had? I think it's really, really important to have an education in this sort of field. And if you don't, then you're going to be clueless. And you need to be switched on when it comes to where you should put your stop loss, where you should enter, where you should take profit from. Adjust to the candles as they are playing, as they're going. And if you miss something, journal it. You gotta be on top of it. And if you're not, then you're not gonna see much success at all. So always adapting, meaning that always have that learner mindset. Because if you don't have that learner mindset, you're gonna think, okay, I know everything about the markets. this is the way that it is, you know. And then if somebody else comes across, you'd be like, nah, you're wrong and I'm right. But really, he could be right and you could be right. So always adapting to people's ways that they trade. Like I remember, you know, when I jumped on the first time, and you're like, make sure that you learn everything you need to know about the indices, you know, whether it's from me or it's just learning about fundamental news, you know, go on this website for this news and go on that website as well. So it's like always just have that learner mindset of, because the market, yes, it has the same tendencies, but it's not the same every single time. And those that play sports will know exactly what this means, you know, because every time you play a sports game, the following week is not going to be the same as the last week. It's going to be different. Same game, but different strategies, different players, different people's thinking.
Facts.
That's a really good analogy, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Tell us more.
I'm on a roll today. But yeah. Always have that learner mindset and continue to learn. You know, even though you think you may got it, just keep learning.
100%, I agree. Like, even myself now, probably yourself, Hadi, is, you know, day to day, week to week, we're still learning. Even if I think that my strategy's doing well, my trading's doing well, I still know there's room for growth. So I'm still finding new things to learn. As you said, the market does change, so adapting to that, keeping up with news, all that kind of thing is still a learning journey as you go. For me, education-wise, like, it is super important. I struggled and probably took longer than I could have because I was in the wrong education to start with. I fell into the multi-level marketing trap, where you probably would have seen a lot of TikTokers who claim to be traders and are more for the marketing side of it. And so as soon as you get in, they are, hey, how many friends and family do you know? Bring them on and you can get this much money out of that. And it's sort of, I was at the point where I was like, I'm here to make money from trading, not from bringing friends and family, and what's going on here. And so obviously that was a couple of months wasted where I'd learnt very, very minimal and had to kind of find my own way around the things for a while until I was able to find something that clicked. So education, if you can find something that clicks with you, someone you resonate with, that's going to be huge in your career. Even just personality-wise, you know, if you can find a community that fits your personality, that has something in common with your lifestyle, whether that be you are another mum that's looking for that side income, or whether you are, you know, one of the boys that are trying to get out of that 9-to-5 hustle, or whatever it may be. If you find someone resonates with you, it's going to be a lot easier to learn from them.
100%. Yeah, I say that to Hadi all the time, like how we have you and Hadi, like we've got the Kazi, and then, like, you know, it's like, and then we've got a mum, you know.
A mum.
Well, like, you know, because you've got the mum chat on there as well.
Yeah.
And then all the
super
mums,
cool,
the mums sign up and they're like, oh, there's a mum chat in this Discord.
Yeah.
So if you're a mum,
Where we talk about what's for dinner tonight.
Do you?
Yeah, we do.
you actually,
Legit, yeah.
It's great.
it's such a mum thing to do.
Oh, hard out. We're like, I'm sick of thinking of dinners. Anyone got dinner ideas? What are you having? And everyone will kind of like write down what they're having for dinner. And we're like, me? No, that's a good idea. We'll add that to the list this week. What's in the kids' lunch boxes?
That's correct.
So, yeah, if you're into that, then...
If you're a mum and you want to sign up, you get to know what, you know, you don't have the stress of having to organise your dinners.
Win-win.
Win.
And then the trading will pay for those dinners. No.
Trading will pay for your groceries.
Use the code dinner20.
Yeah, I don't really educate myself. I just know what. No. No, education is huge. Education, like, throughout everything, is huge. Like trading, especially, because you have to know exactly what you're doing. And a lot of people that come into trading, they look at the market and they're like, "What is that?" You know, they don't understand. Like, these are candlesticks, or Hakanashi candles, whatever. And people, like, even now, people that trade, they're like, what's Hakanashi?
That was me to you, like, last week.
Really?
Yeah, you showed the Hakanashi candles, and I was like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah. So, education. Key.
Major key.
And, like, yeah, it's something that I've had to learn. Like, I come into trading knowing absolutely nothing. As soon as I started to learn about, like, the whole maths behind it and, like, what could potentially be made, I learned as much as I could. Like, I just dove into it. Whatever word you use. Dived.
I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to chuck it up and try to correct it.
But I just went head first. I just non-stop learning every single day because I wanted to be successful. I knew the potential that could come. So education for me, key. Now, even being an educator, teaching other people, I'm still learning myself. Teaching you guys, I'm still learning myself about things that I know I can improve on. And it's a never-ending journey. And obviously in life, you're never going to know every single thing in the world. It's just like trading. You're never going to know everything, because if you knew everything about trading, you'll be the richest person in the world. 100%.
Yeah.
So it is a never-ending journey on learning, but I think, like, the key to learning is learning the things that are going to help you in the present moment. You don't want to learn, like, you've been learning SMC for so long, and then on the side you're learning support resistance or something. Like, you have to learn what you're making mistakes at. If you can fix your mistakes, that's what's going to make you better at trading. And so at the moment, I'm just continuously learning psychology, but also fundamentals. Something that I want to get really, really good at is, when you know fundamentals, you can pretty much, I don't want to say predict, but, anticipate where market should be going.
Yeah.
And I heard someone in another podcast say that when you know fundamentals, you know where the market is going to go. Everything that happens between news events or the technical stuff or the small moves is just speculation from traders that have no idea where market should be going. And, like, knowing that, it just makes so much sense, especially, like, when I first started learning fundamentals, there was people, like, on YouTube and stuff, people that have hundreds of thousands of followers, and they're all saying, never trade news. And, like, realistically, if you understand what you are trading, like, I would trade news every single time it comes up. Not any news, like, not EUR news, like all the yellow followers, but USD red folder news. I would trade all of that because I feel like I have an understanding in that, and I can anticipate where market should be going based on everything that I know. So that's the education that I have, and you can pretty much say that, like, a lot of people don't focus on fundamentals.
Yeah.
And they focus just on the technical side of things. So I think that's like a massive barrier that people would have in this trading space, is that they don't understand, like, fundamentals enough. But yeah, education is key, as I always say in the videos, and ongoing education about the right things is what's going to make you a good trader.
Yeah, nice. Can you touch on, because, like, all the psychology stuff you're learning at the moment, you got a mindset coach as well. Can you touch on that? Because I think that's super important. Like, psychology is massive in trading.
Yeah, so psychology is, like, the key. If you don't have psychology, you're not going to be a good trader. So I sort of figured that out last year when, like, a lot of things weren't going well for me. Ended up, I was following this guy, Te Ari Tawera, shout out to you, my guy. And I seen, like, a lot of his stuff, and, like, the I guess posts and stuff that he was putting out was just directly relating to me. And so, like, his content and stuff that he was putting out, it was just like, that's me. And, like, I'm resonating with it. And so I hit him up, ended up signing up to his course and learning everything that he had to teach. So he learned from a very, very well-known person that I watch all the time on YouTube as well, Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's amazing. But learning from Te like he helped me get to the headspace that I'm at now, and helped me, I guess, build my psychology to the point where I could get back into trading, because you know it's very hard. And like when I had there's losses last year that we went through, and you know at that point I was sort of like, you know, what am I going to do? Am I going to keep going or not? So working with him, it was crazy. And the whole psychology thing, it's not just having a psychology mindset that I don't care if I lose. That's not it. It's creating your beliefs within trading to be able to, I guess, know that you're worthy. And knowing that you're worthy within trading is going to allow you to be able to make that money, because you can make endless money in trading. There's no limit to what you can make. Like you don't have to make 100K a year and then like that's you done. You can make 100K in a day. You know, but that's it. Like you can make 100K in a day, which like for me was purely just based off accident. I didn't go into the day trying to make 100K. I went into the day trying to make my money back that I lost yesterday.
Which you shouldn't do, by the way.
Yeah.
Revenge trading.
I didn't have a mindset coach then, or like I was just upset, you know, like I lost 5K the day before. Going into the next day, 7K, going in the next day, I just wanted to win that back. And, you know, that is something that you don't want to do, but I wanted to do that. And like my whole mindset that day was just focused, and it just happened to be one of those days where news was coming out for USD, had no idea what it was going to do. Myself, like I didn't even know fundamentals then, but that belief that I couldn't make all of this money back, yeah, it just happened. And then from that point, I went into that day not trying to make 100K, but ever since, like I've tried to, you know, break my record, but it's not something that can easily be done because I don't feel like I'm worthy enough to be able to making 100K a day.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't feel like my mindset is at that point where I can make that much like I did. And that's why I say it's purely off accident, because if I had the mindset going into that day that, you know, like imagine going back to there and then I'm like, today I'm going to make 100K. Like, what was your belief? Like, you know, you starting with $0 and you're trying to make someone's like a very high professional person in a job, their salary in one day. Like, where's your belief for that? And like my belief would 100% not be there. Even now, like if I went into like tomorrow trading and I wanted to, you know, try and make 100K, like I don't think I could.
What do you think about it? Like, what was it about that day that just made you believe that, or like, you know, that just made you get the 100K?
Yeah, like, well, that's what I mean. Like I didn't think I was going to get 100K.
Yeah.
So whilst I was trading, I finished Asian session on like $5,500. I finished London session on like 27,000.
Yeah.
And like at that point, I was just like, I should probably pull out. You know, like I lost 7K. I've made like 20K profit today. But going into like New York, you know, I was on a roll. If I had lost, you know, another 5K, I probably would have just stopped.
Right.
You know, but yeah, so I don't think like I had a belief there. But what happened that day is I just didn't stop entering trades. And as price was like falling and it was sticking to like the strategy that I was using at that point, which, you know, honestly was proper dumb. like it was dumb. And you probably shouldn't trade like that ever. And like as price is dropping, I'm entering countless trades. I'm just tapping that button and just taking it out. Tapping, take them out, take them out, tapping, take them out. Yeah, so it wasn't necessarily like my whole belief thing that I was there. It was, all I was doing was just tapping these buttons because price is coming down. And it wasn't until I actually like stopped and then I went to like my profit and loss and I was like, 100 and whatever K.
Oh, so you didn't even know your P&L?
No, I don't know my P&L. I wasn't watching it. I was watching, you know, like on MT4?
Yeah.
And like you just, on that screen where it's like sell or buy, I'm just tapping it like 3 times. And then I'll go back to the main screen and like, you know how you swipe across?
Swipe and close.
Yeah. I'll go back, close them, go back, enter.
True.
I think that's a prime example of like taking what the market gives too, though. Like there'll be days where even if you made 100K that day, you can't do that on specific days. The market just does not give that much. That day, I remember it very, very clearly as well. I think most people that trade gold will remember that day to a T. And it just gave and it gave and it gave.
Yeah.
And if you were following the trend as your friend, then you were making money. Whereas, as I say, there's other days it doesn't. You know, that's not even possible unless you're over leveraging hugely.
I don't think there's been a day
Exactly.
since
Yeah.
that you could just be non-stop entering trades and it just keeps falling. Because like at the like now, it'll like 4, pull back, 4, pull back, like it's slow. You can't just like enter. That day I entered 137 trades.
Wow.
True.
You know, like I can't do that now. Or like the market's not giving that, like you say, like the market gives, but I haven't been able to do that. And like ever since, you know, obviously, you know, holding longer trades and making, you know, big money. But yeah, being able to do, bro, it was all, that was, what do you call it? It was just luck, I would say.
True. That's so interesting. Could we just touch on like on Brian Huddy, because I kind of get an understanding of what Slade learns from, but I want to know like what you guys learn when you talk about you educate yourselves. How do you learn? Where do you go to learn? Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
You understand? Me? Okay. What was the question again? How you learn, what you do to learn.
Yeah, like because
Yeah.
you know you just say, "Oh, I educate myself. I just teach myself about fundamentals." But what does that actually mean?
Like understanding news events, why it happens, you know, what controls CPI, what controls PPI,
Right.
You know, jobs data, all of that stuff. If this happens, what's happened to the market in history, you know, things like that. And when you get an understanding like of fundamentals that way, that's something that I like to learn. It's because in the market, like history repeats itself, and that's why anyone that's trading, you always look left to see what's happened before, because you can't predict the future, but you can see what's happened in the past and what's happened off certain points within the market. So for me, like understanding fundamentals just gives me an edge, I think, of not getting, I guess, like put into the small time trades, or like not trying to be pulled in and FOMOing into trades and being able to wait longer, because I know that price should be doing this because of jobs data being up or down on US, and then US dollar being strong or weak. You know, it just depends on that sort of stuff. So that's the sort of stuff that I learn, and how I learn that is obviously through like other traders that have an understanding of fundamentals. And there's, you know, one guy, I won't name him, but one guy that is so good at fundamentals, and I've been following for such a long time. And he gives out a lot of free information. So, he doesn't like speculate on what he thinks is going to happen. He just lets people know, what could happen if this or this happened. Yeah, you know. So, yeah. Cool.
I think for myself, learning for me involves backtesting, involves sort of getting to know the different peers and their tendencies more. So always looking at the difference between like, hey, gold moves deep into a POI often mitigates that 5 minute or 1 minute point inside the higher time frame point. Euro JPY doesn't. It likes the edge of the higher time frame, and it won't come deeper, so you're going to miss it if you wait. Like, back testing in that form to understand the tendencies and pairs that I trade helps me. Also, as you say, fundamentally, I've started looking deeply into that a lot lately. Just keeping up with world news and all that kind of thing. But also, there's always going to be traders that I wouldn't say are better or worse or whatever, but there's always going to be traders out there you can learn from. And as you become better at trading yourself, you get to know which people on, say, YouTube, etc., that are worth kind of looking into or aren't. You can tell by the way they talk whether they know what they're talking about or not, you know. And so there's a couple of people that I'll watch occasionally or podcasts I'll put on just to listen to and learn from. For me, it's a lot of just, back testing. I'm a very analytical person, so I like to look at those market cycles, and I like to kind of, this has moved here, why? Let's go back, let's look left, as Huddy said. You know, let's see when this news event happened in the past, what did it do? How many pips did it move specifically? What can we expect from this next one? All that sort of thing.
Nice. I really like that.
I think just touching on that though, like how she was talking about back testing.
Yeah.
That's something that you can learn from yourself. Like as an educator, I'm teaching other people, but for me to learn now, knowing everything that I know, it's more or less seeing where I'm going wrong.
Yeah,
because I understand the market. If I'm going wrong here, why am I going wrong here? Whereas, you know, for someone that's on a different level, like learning or beginning, it's you need to learn this first. Whereas, I guess, you know, for us, it's back testing. Oh, why did it not push off this POY? Oh, it was right. It was just above the 50%. It's still coming down in the 1 hour time frame. And, you know, fundamentals are pushing it down to this point because it's looking to bounce off this area and go up and break the new high, sort of thing.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, there'll be times we'll see tendencies change in pairs, and they'll start not doing what we suspect they'll do. You know, going off our previous analytics, they suddenly start changing a little bit, and gold's been doing this recently occasionally where if we don't have a lot of news driving it and it needs to build that liquidity, we'll find it doesn't break. So it doesn't change character before it. Yeah, so it won't close below. It'll just build that liquidity there to create those equal lows or equal highs if we're in the other direction. And then it will still come in the direction we anticipated. Now, for you as a trader, you have to then sort of look at that and go, hey, do I break my rules? Do I adjust my rules because these tendencies are changing? Or do I just sit on my hands and you know, rely on the data that I have with my rules that I usually follow and leave that alone for now?
Interesting. So you're always adapting your strategy. You're looking at your data, your back-tested data, and you're seeing how you can capitalize on that data to get better entries the next time it comes around. That's cool. I'm going to start doing more backtesting now.
I think backtesting the week once it's been is a really good tip as well. Like just seeing what the current tendencies are, because although backtesting back in 2000 is good, it might not have the same tendencies that it currently does, and that can kind of be a little bit off-putting when you jump into a live market and you've gone, well, I've backtested this for the past, you know, week from 2000, 2002, and it's not really playing out like that at the moment. What am I doing wrong?
I like that. I like that because backtesting the week before, I know exactly what happened. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I got into every single opportunity that presented itself in the market. Yeah. So, that's what you're saying, right? Yeah.
And I think one thing you have to let go of with that is seeing all that money that you could have made if you have sat down and got every opportunity that presented when, you know, you backtest that week and it's like you're up 120k for the week and you're like, that was literally last week. Why am I not up that much?
I've never actually done that.
Oh, you haven't?
But Like from you doing that, do you find it easier going into the next week?
Yeah, I find that it builds my narrative on price very, very strongly because I already know what that week's done, but I've just inputted it deeper into my, I guess, subconscious or whatever you want to call it, that I know the current narrative of price and the way its tendencies are currently sort of presenting themselves.
Yeah, I've never thought of the pair's tendencies to change. I always just thought like they just stay the same. But like you mentioned that about gold, and I've been seeing that heaps lately.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a bit of research into something called the Fed wire. Do you guys know what the Fed wire is? Fed wire.
Oh, right.
It's like a clearinghouse where they change all the money from trading going over into the real market. Something like that.
Tell us more.
Yeah.
Dr. Google.
But we've recently, so we were in a phase called a T1 phase, and I think in March this year we switched over to a T2 phase. So maybe that's why the tendencies of gold has changed. That's something to look into, but that's fundamentals.
March this year.
March this year, yeah.
Isn't it when gold pumped?
Which is, if you look at market cycles, we do that generally every March, April-ish, maybe Feb at the earliest. But if we look back at market cycles, every year that we start that run, we started at that time, we start the pullback at a specific month, and we move a very similar amount of pips. So no cheat codes, but
That's a cheat code.
It's interesting to look at that sort of thing, and that's the sort of thing that I really enjoy delving deep into and looking at those kind of.
Very interesting, because like if for those that do futures, there's like there's 4 cycles in futures where you have to change your contracts over. I didn't even think about that until you just said that. So that's definitely something to look at. But yeah, so when you do, there's 4 different what is it, like months or it's like every
quarter.
Yeah, every quarter, yeah. And so every time that happens, you have to leave the previous chart and move to the next one, which then means that all of the contracts move over. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but basically, there's 4 different quarters, and so I guess it would line up with what you're saying then. And so that's definitely something to look into. I can't
So
wait
is
to
that
trade
where
on
the
Monday.
quarterly theory comes from, perhaps?
Maybe that could be a part of it. Yeah, but I mean, from what I've taken away today from you, bro, is pretty much just buy gold in March and let it go.
So touching on that too, like the day that I made 110k was in February, and if you go back and look to the market, it's from 1960 all the way down to, where did it go? Like
1840, somewhere around there. 1840 on that night, yeah.
Yeah. So you go back and look at the market, it came down for about a month or two, down to 1840 area, and then got a change of character on the 4 hour, pulls back to a 4 hour point of interest and a 1 hour point of interest. And that must be like a month or two, which is what, March, April? Yep. And then just pumped to a higher high.
Yep,
above 1960.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. That's what I mean. I've recently just really started delving deep into that and looking back at those cycles, and it's like, well, let's just wait for March, because if we had have brought in that March, we would have been very wealthy people.
Wait, so when was the sell start?
When's the next quarter again?
That other trade though, like from this year, was
Yeah, true. That
like April, May?
Yeah, I think it was.
No, it was April.
Your 200k trade.
Just cracked the code. Don't post this one.
Are you a market maker or?
Are you a market mover?
If you were a bender, what kind of bender would you be?
Oh, you mean like, hey,
Yeah.
airbender?
I'm a firebender.
Was you?
Airbender and air and
I don't know,
fire. Interesting.
Fire's my star sign, essentially. So it's
true.
just,
What is my star sign? But I would want to be an airbender.
you want to be an airbender?
Why?
Eh?
What?
It's the worst one. No. Why?
Dude, I don't know. Like,
So you can
fly
fly
on that little ball.
I'm pretty sure the fire guys can do that too, eh?
But then I'll have what's his name?
Alpha.
Alpha.
Up in Momo.
Gus.
Oh, stop Momo, bro.
Nah, I don't know. Like it's between Earth, but I also like want to be an
If
F-boy.
airbender, but I also
I want to be an F-boy.
earthbender.
Earthbender. True. I'm straight waterbender, eh? What a tribe.
How do you balance your trading career with other aspects of your life? Go with Briar first.
I think that is definitely a hard one, especially like I'm a mum of two, and I also run another business. Always had that kind of self-driven mindset, so I kind of steer off on that business model. But I think when I first got into trading, swing trading was what I gravitated to because of that time freedom. Or that ability to still trade whilst juggling, kids, school drop-off, dinner, etc. Which means I would get into a trade, say, Monday, and hold it through till Friday, that sort of thing. So I guess that's the easiest way to juggle it, but otherwise just finding that session that you prefer and then working your time frame of other things around that. So, if you want to trade an Asian session, which I traded a lot for a very long time, which is while the kids are at school. So enables me to kind of still drop them off, do all the housework, all that kind of stuff, come back, trade, still be there to pick them up. And also setting alerts is very helpful. So yeah, there's been times where I have been on school drop off or pick up and had an alert go off and being able to just enter a trade that way, because the bidding comes to your phone and you know what you were looking at that point in time, and so when that happens you can just either send out the signal, get in the trade yourself, whatever it happens to be. But yeah, it's definitely a juggle, but it's no different to, well, I guess it's still easier than juggling a 9 to 5. I couldn't imagine trying to do that, to be honest. I've been fortunate enough to never have to do that. I was a stay-at-home mum before this, and then, as I said, just kind of done my own business ventures around the kids. So, yeah.
Nice. I was sort of similar. Like I have 2 kids. For me, like I'm a single. I love single dad. I split up with my kid's mum, so we have 50-50. And so I only have my kids Wednesday to Saturday. So for me, I can be trading Monday, Tuesday, and then when I have my kids, I'm trading. I normally trade just New York anyway, so it's not when my kids are awake. But if I put my kids to sleep early, then I'm able to trade London session. If I see anything coming up in London session, then I trade New York session, NYSE session, and then pretty much I'll send them to school, get them to school, and then I'll come home and sleep. Because I am trading New York session, NYSE, I am going to be awake till 3-4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 5, if I'm talking with you lads. And we're not even trading, we're just chatting. But for me, it's just during the day, from the time that I wake up to, I guess I'll put my kids to sleep, it's always been, I'll check my charts, I'll set alerts, because basically through our Asian session, all I'm looking for is breaks of the current range. Once it breaks a certain way, that means volume's going that way. And so that's all I look for. Once you get that break, then pretty much it's either going to take liquidity or it's going to get the closure below, and then price is going to start trending for perhaps the day or just until London session. So there are potential trades that we can be taking during Asian session. I'm not a huge fan on trading Asian session, so that's when I get other stuff done. But once my kids go to sleep, so usually in the summer, London session's 8-9 o'clock. So my kids are in bed at 7:38. So I can be trading London. I don't have to sort of sacrifice not doing stuff with them. because I have to work. So that's been a huge thing for me, like why I love trading, but also just, you know, trading at night, have to sacrifice getting up early to take them to school and stuff, things like that. But it's, for me, it's been super, super simple. Yeah.
That's nice. You get to sleep.
Oh, you don't?
What's that? But actually, though, so when I started, right, like you guys know all the hours I've been putting in. So when I started, I was doing Asian, London, New York, everything. I would go to sleep at like 6, 7 in the morning, wake up at 11 so I could catch Asian. That was my routine for like January, February. Thank the Lord I found ambitious, because that's when I got sleep. No. So I was on the grind, and because I was on the grind, like I had to sacrifice like spending time with my family, friends, and my partner.
Right.
And that's something that I'm still working through at the moment. Is trying to find that time, because I'm like just so locked into trading, just trying to like make this right, make this work to get to the point where you guys are at, that I'm still sacrificing that time with my friends, my family, and my partner. So the way I've been doing that, like I don't trade Asian anymore. I'll have a look at London. If there's a setup, I'll jump on. But like throughout the day, so I'd go to sleep now at like 3, 4 in the morning, and my partner, she'll wake up at like 6 o'clock. The other night when she woke up and she came in, and we were still talking, and it was like 6 in the morning. So she'll wake up early, go to the gym, do her work day, and then by the time she's finished work, that's when I'll be waking up to start my day. So like we're always just like missing each other. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm trying to make the adjustment now to only just trade New York, and that's kind of been working out a lot better. And then
tell us how much you've made in New York.
Lots.
Jokes, you don't have
lots. So yeah, I mean, you know, making that money in New York is just freeing up my time so I can spend with my family and my friends, and you know, give me time to do stuff like this, hang out with the lads and Briar. You're not a lad, you're a G.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, so I'm still like working on my routine, and there's still a bit of sacrifice in there at the moment, but like, and I know this is all, you know, worth it. So willing to sacrifice, you know, all that time spent with family and stuff. And that's cool because everyone's super supportive, which I'm super grateful for, super lucky too.
Wish I had that.
That's cool, man.
But I just want to touch on, like you mentioned, that in January, February,
Yeah.
you were trying to trade every session.
Yeah.
What, I guess, led you to believe that you had to?
Like trade all those sessions.
Asian, London, and New York.
Because I didn't know what was going on. So I wanted to figure out, I was just spending as much time as I could on the charts to actually figure out what was happening.
Right.
I had no idea what Asian was. I didn't know what London was. And then I knew there was Sydney. I knew there was Sydney, Tokyo, Frankfurt, New York. Didn't really know what London was.
Wait, you knew there was Frankfurt?
I knew there was, I don't know why. I knew that, it's because I had a market sessions indicator, and it didn't have London, it had Frankfurt.
That is so weird, because even Hardy questioned what Frankfurt was the other day when I was like, just waiting for Frankfurt open.
It's so buzzy.
But yeah,
I told you that,
obviously
eh? Yeah.
people know what London is. Like,
I had
it's,
no idea.
it's the 3 sessions.
Yeah.
Hey, Frankfurt session's coming. Oh, we're having hot dogs?
Just cooking dinner, Frankfurt open.
But yeah, I was just trying to figure out, like, just soak in as much information as I could.
Yeah.
So, I spent so much time on the charts, and then, yeah, I think that's how I picked it up. Not not quick, because I was spending all that time on the charts. Yeah.
I just want to say too, like how you're saying that you're sacrificing time with your partner, with your friends and stuff. Like me, like with the whole, I have kids, things like that. I I don't spend time doing much else, or like I didn't spend time doing much else other than just trading. Like I didn't go spend time with family, friends, nothing.
You're just on the grind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that was my main goal. All I wanted to do was succeed. So I sacrificed all of that. Like I don't even hang out with like much people now, if any.
Mostly.
Like,
Same.
but I don't mind.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
this is my life. I travel a lot. I get to live a pretty solid life that I like. My life isn't wanting to go and hang out with friends and go and get on the hiss with friends. It's more or less I want to experience stuff, and trading, making money, helping other people are what satisfies me as a person. So
Yeah, it was the same. Like when I first got into it and decided like this is what I want to do. Like I can't remember the last time I sat down and watched TV. Like, and people would laugh at that. They'd be like, "What?" And I'm like, I don't have time. Yeah. Like I'm either watching the chart, I'm back testing, or I'm watching education stuff at that point in time. Like any screen time was
Trading.
Was something associated with trading.
Yeah.
There was no watching Shortland Street or whatever else was on at that point in time,
Shortland Street.
Honestly, that's like, it's only like 2 years ago, and I'm like, I used to religiously jump on and watch at 7 o'clock at night, and now I'm like, I wouldn't have a clue what's going where, who the characters are, what's new in any program. Netflix, I can't remember the last time I watched Netflix. It's on in the background sometimes while I'm trading, but...
If you are watching Netflix, you're probably watching The Big Short.
Yeah.
Like,
Wall Street, The Big Short, like all the, they've got to be associated, right? Yeah. Trading's just, once you're in there, like, I'm sorry, but there's no out.
Drilled in the brain.
It's,
What about you, bro? Like, you've sacrificed a lot of sleep because you're just up all night, bro, catching those NAS signals.
Great, by the way.
It is what it is.
Damn.
Okay, so I, as soon as I found out that this was a big thing and it could happen, then I just try to save up as much as possible, and then, as a young person, you're like, I could potentially make it big as a young person, and that'd be super cool, but you got to start somewhere, and so I worked 2 jobs, not at the same time, but I worked 2 jobs. Well, actually, at one point I worked at 2 jobs, but regardless, I worked at Domino's for a bit, and that ran all the way until midnight, and so London session wasn't even a thing for me, and so luckily indices didn't run all the way up until midnight. It wasn't during London session; it was way in the nighttime, and so I would go to sleep, then I would go to work all the way up until midnight just so I could let all that time pass, and then trade indices, and then just repeat it again, and and I was bringing money there, have my sleep, and then bringing money here, and then it was just like a cycle of just keep repeating the same thing, and then I just realized that it wasn't really helping me, because when I got to the indices, or when I got to New York session, it would be like, man, now I'm super tired to even get here, and then so I was like, I gotta figure out a way to just be able to be awake for this and be ready for it, and so I was like, okay, I'll just work a certain amount of time, so I build up enough capital so that I can just not work for a bit, and then as soon as I did that, I was able to spend more with family, because literally it was just work, sleep, trade, and then just repeat. And then so as soon as I took out work after accumulating so much, then it was just, okay, I can focus on this during this time, I can have my sleep, and then for the rest of the day I can do pretty much whatever. And I think you gotta realize that it's important to know where the sacrifices are and how important it is, because if you don't, then what's all this for? And so when I jumped on with you guys, it was, okay, this is my time now is during this time, so I could trade it, look for the signals, and I will stay up until I find a signal, just so then, 1, I could keep my job, but 2, So then I can just, focus on what I like doing, which is trading during New York session, and then, have my sleep, and then find the time to just do whatever I want at that point. And so that's pretty much how my schedule is now. There's still like a little bit PC as well, so it's, I'm still trying to find the routine for that as well, but that's pretty much how my routine's going right now.
Off the deep and meaningful topic, what's your favourite trading snack?
Right. Spoils my fitness. Okay, so
Macca's run.
obviously being art, I've struggled with this, but why are we laughing?
He's getting serious with this question.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa. I've been trying to diet, for a long time because for our job, we sit in a chair and we're there for all day, the only physical exercise that I get is going to the gym or
The toilet?
going to get snacks.
Walk into the pantry.
You got to get your steps in. So, it's been a struggle for me to try and stay with my diet. So trading at night, it's something that I hate doing, but I get so hungry sitting there, and I'm someone that loves food, and you guys will know.
Oh yeah.
I love food. So
Where did you say we were going after this? No.
up to bed. So it's been hard for me. But my favourite snack whilst trading is a Milo and toast.
Toast?
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, have you I get Milo
Don't
and
lie,
toast.
it's the ice creams.
It's ice cream, yeah, 100%. But my most favourite thing to eat is toast. I try not to eat toast now because it's so much carbs, and when you eat toast before bed, it bloats me.
Gluten.
Gluten. Yeah. I feel like I'm meant to be gluten free because I get bloated so much times. It's just bloating, it's not fat. So, but yeah.
What do you have on your toast?
It depends. It depends what mood I'm in. Usually I have either jam or have Nutella or Biscoff, or I'll have peanut butter and jam if I'm feeling in that mood. If I'm feeling in that mood to have peanut butter and jam. But if it's not that, it'll be Biscoff or Nutella with banana on top.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A little bit of health on there.
Oh, you got to get your 5+ a day. Come on.
Oh, that's crack up. Yeah, every time I see someone on the Zoom get up and get a snack, I'm now I'm hungry. It makes me hungry.
I have no willpower.
Yeah. I don't really have a snack. I don't really snack. I'm just on the waters. Because I just get so dehydrated. I'm hard on the waters. I'm just on the waters, really. It's kind of stay hydrated and then constantly going to the toilet during New York session, which is real annoying.
It sounds like excuses.
I know.
Your trade plays out as soon as you step to the toilet, hey?
But I've got my headphones on when I'm in the toilet, so,
So when that alert goes, ding.
Yeah.
Order filled. Stays in the toilet longer.
I don't really have a snack. But Slade, you love the Milos too.
My guy.
When you said Milo, I was like, yeah, that sounds
What is it,
right.
Milo's and Tim Tams?
Yeah, especially if there's Tim Tams in the cupboard. I'm like, gotta have it. Gotta have it. Otherwise, it's mainly just drinks, eh? I just gotta have some sort of drink, whether it's water or some sort of energy drink or whatever. But just some sort of hydration as well. But if there's leftovers from last night's dinner, then I'm called the Casper or the ghost in the house, because by the time they check the last night's dinner, it's gone because I've already snacked on it during the trade. So it's usually just a drink or if there's last night's dinner or some sort of snack that's in the pantry.
Did you say you're known as Casper?
Yeah.
Well, your mum told us she was going to call you.
Can you repeat that name, please? No.
Yeah, that's a mean snack.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's about it for my snacks, yeah.
I've recently found mochaccino ice cream. It's not good.
It's not good.
It's too good, so it's not good.
Right.
So Kat and I will sit there and eat ice cream because she's always got her Neapolitan ice cream, and so I'm encouraged to go and get a little bit of ice cream.
Nice. Shout out to Kat.
So yeah,
makes
don't
sense.
have that in the freezer because otherwise it's like you say, just a drink.
Unless somebody gets KFC, eh?
Yeah.
That's Kat,
It was
eh?
Kat too
That's
at
Kat,
midnight.
honestly, all
I'm
the
calling
time.
her out on this podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Every time, I mean, Kat gets KFC.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, team, just got to pop off to KFC.
Yeah. Because then I feel like KFC, and then it's because it's like midnight over here.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But in Aussie, it's like in Perth, it's like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Bro, KFC in Aussie though, game changer.
Why?
Bro, it's way better than New Zealand. Straight.
Really?
Yeah. No lies. Like, I'll go to Aussie every single time, KFC. Like, not even like others, just
The
KFC.
gluten-free one, eh?
Gluten-free KFC. Yeah, like, chicken's protein. And so my last question is, what was it again? So like throughout, your life and stuff, you have, someone that's, I guess always believed that you can do it. So is there a person, because like going through trading, it's, sometimes you just can't do it by yourself, you got to have that support. So is there someone in your life that has pushed you and you're thankful for to get to the place that you are now?
Yeah, for me, the person that got me into trading was my sister, and she only got me into it because she knew that I'd be good at it. So shout out to my sister. My partner's been like so supportive. Like my whole family, my mom's been super supportive. Even my friends, like, bro, I remember I asked you that question about, like, because I didn't know this was a thing, but how does, like, when you tell people that you trade, you're getting into Forex.
Yeah. It was on the last podcast, because it was a question that someone asked.
Yeah. And apparently it's like a thing where people are like, nah, don't do that, that's dumb.
It's all poppy syndrome, bro.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I didn't know that was a thing. Because I'm like super fortunate to have the friends that I have. And they were all like,
You are.
yeah, nah, grateful way.
Yeah.
Yeah, my circle's like pretty lucky. But they were like telling me like, man, when can I give you money to start trading? So I was like, man.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I've been pretty fortunate to be surrounded by all these different people and then come across you guys and then, just gets better and better. So lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, me. For me, it probably had to be my parents, eh? And that's why I did all this was because how much like support I've always been given from them. Because it's been even before that, like with my sporting career or whatever, and my schooling, like they've always chucked like so much into me, and I'm just like, wow, this is like it doesn't like even just paying for that trip, I just feel like it's like still not even enough to pay them back, and I'm just like, man, how much? Man, I just need to just keep going, because that's me. But yeah, they've always been super supportive. They've always said, even if this doesn't work out, you've still got a place to come to, and just them saying that was, is enough for me to be like, oh yeah, I can just keep going at this. But yeah, so shout out to my parents. And my sister, of course.
Nice.
It's a bit of a hard-hitting question, isn't it? Yeah. That was a heavy one. So my person, the person that has been my support throughout most of my life, realistically, it's going to sound really weird, but is my husband. He's my main
Shout out to
support.
hubby.
Yeah, shout out to hubby.
Shout out hubby, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my biggest support, the one that always pushes me to do better, because he believes in me more than I believe in myself most of the time. So yeah, we've been together since we were teens. So he's my backbone. So yeah, everything I do, I owe to him hugely.
Yeah, that's good.
That's special.
Yeah.
Being together since teenage.
I don't.
That's crazy. Like I always wanted that for my kids, but sadly didn't work out. But yeah, whatever. So like for me, it's always been my mum. My mum's always believed in who I am, and it's like a little bit different to yourself. Like my mum's always believed in me. It doesn't necessarily mean that like all of my other family and friends like believed in me initially, because like I would have to say like probably didn't until I was able to show that success, and like that's where I come from. That's huge tall poppy syndrome. Like it's massive, and like that played on my mindset a little bit, but it was also like my mindset was, I can prove these people wrong, and then it's just so satisfying when you get to that point that you can prove them wrong. So my mum's always believed in everything that I could do. That's not necessarily saying like my other family didn't believe in me, but they were skeptical of whether I was going to succeed or not, whether I was wasting my time or not, all of that, instead of like, yeah, go for it, like do it. So yeah,
Interesting. I like that. But what if you're a person that's starting to trade now and there's no one in your life that believes in you?
You asking me that directly?
Well, like everyone. That's, open-ended question to everyone, because
I would say, because of that situation, that's why I wanted to create that community. Coming into it, like I didn't, me personally, going from, and I think we touched this on like the podcast that got released today, is I never had a mentor. I didn't have like a huge support system. And so being able to create that through our education platform is like massive, and it just shows the progress that people can make by having those two things. You have the community, people that you can talk to on a regular basis, daily basis, then it takes all of that, what if I'm doing this wrong, away. Because if you don't have a mentor, don't have people that you can ask, like, is this how I do this? You have no idea whether you're doing something right or wrong. So yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing too, is having people not only that support you, but that understand it. So you could have the most supportive people around you, but if they don't understand what you're going through, and they're like, what do you mean you can't press the button? Just press the button. If you know it's going to go that way, what's wrong with you? Like, people that are in the space understand that those psychology blocks come, and they understand how to kind of start, I guess, picking those away too. Being like, okay, have you looked at this? Is there something going on in your life? Are you, this, that, the other, whatever it may be, or just resignating, just understanding what you're going through. Oh, I've been there. We all go through that. That is one of the blocks that we face as beginner traders, and we will get past it because, like all those sorts of things. I've had it so many times with the students that just, they come to you privately and they have that conversation like, I feel like giving up. I don't know what's going on, help. And that's what we're there for, is not just to say, hey, this is how you do it. Get in here, get out here. But to be that support as well that understands the journey.
I totally agree with that. It's interesting that you say that, because like I'm lucky to have all these supportive people, but when I talk to my partner about it, she has like no idea what I'm talking about. And so but I can talk to my sister about it because she's in the trading game, so she understands. So I'm super lucky to have that. But yeah, if you don't have that supportive person, man, you can find one in the education platform. There's heaps of people in there. There's about over 100 people in there.
I know. And don't be afraid to ask too.
That's it too, and it doesn't need to be one of us,
Exactly.
Often you'll find a buddy to pair up with. You'll find someone who is your vibe, and I met my best mate on a trading platform. Because, our personalities resonated, but also we were into something of common ground. So, you know, it was that one person that I could throw charts to, but also that understood me as a person as well. So,
Thanks. You're my best friend.
What tools and technologies do you rely on for your trading and why? I can start it off if you want.
I don't mind.
Okay. What trading tools? I think the big one is, well, everybody should know, is TradingView. That's one of the biggest ones. And technologies. Obviously, at least have a phone. If you don't have a phone, get one. Otherwise, a laptop, or if you're fortunate, then get a PC. You know, anything that just has an internet that allows you to use the charts is what you would consider using technology. But TradingView would be the biggest one because that helps you see pretty much every single chart that's out there. And why is probably because, well, yeah, like I said, if you don't use them, then you're not really trading at all. But I think for me, the tools that I would use would be the magic line, and using the short and long tool is really good. You know, because then you can actually figure out whereabouts you want to put your stop loss, whereabouts you want to enter, and whereabouts you want to take your profit. And I'd probably say the rectangle tool, because then it helps me see visually where the POIs are, and I mark them out.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd probably say that's pretty much the one I would use.
I think the advantage to trading as a profession is that you don't need a lot. So, you know, if you've got your phone, if you're experienced, that's pretty much enough. Ideally a bigger screen, so a laptop, a PC, a iPad, or whatever you want to use. But really, yeah, those are the two things you need. That is it. So very low cost startup in that sort of technology side of it.
Yeah, hard out.
Regarding tools that I use, I love my Fibonacci tool, so I use that a lot. My golden zone is something I use.
What's your golden zone? Oh, okay.
Nah.
No, secret?
No. So I personally use the 618 to 786.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to that pair tendency thing that we spoke about earlier too, is some pairs will only come to the 50. And I won't use the golden zone specifically. Some pairs I'm finding at the moment tap 50% of between 50 and 618. So again, it's just that going over those and finding out what tendencies are playing out a lot. So yeah, that's a tool I use a lot. And then just your basic, as I said, like your rectangle and that sort of thing that we sort of learn when we begin. Yeah.
Nice. Like technologies for me is, you know, just basically what you guys are touching on. Something that I use specifically is magic keys. And these are this is like magic keys. If you don't know what it is, it's a pad that is directly, what would you call it? Like
It's integrated.
Yeah, integrating with trading. And so you have stuff on there that's like execute trade, mark execution, take half your profit, move stop loss to BE, and you can just push the button and it does it automatically. So that's something that I often will use to be able to get into these trades. If you're using like a stop loss and stuff, you can move your stop loss and it calculates the percentage that you want to risk automatically. So you don't have to calculate your lot sizes and things like that. So that's something that I use. Other than that, like everything else is sort of basic, you know. You use the same stuff. Everyone's going to use the same stuff because everyone uses TradingView. I don't know any trader that's not using TradingView. And so, you know, if you have a phone or you have internet, you know, you can be trading. The thing is that like the better stuff that you can get, the easier it becomes. It doesn't necessarily mean the more stuff you have, the more profitable you're going to be. It just means it becomes easier. So if you have a bigger screen, then it's easier for you to mark charts out as opposed to marking charts out on your phone. So, yeah, that would be, like Slade said, like if you're fortunate enough to get a PC, that's something that I would look at getting into if you are going to be trading. But also you don't necessarily need all of that to be trading. You can start with the bare minimum of your phone and then just continue from there. So,
Yeah, like super low cost of entry. Getting into trading. Like TradingView, you can get a free account. And then you just, if you're starting out, you just trade demo for free. Like, man, super easy to get into. So, you know, not that much risk really involved in that. The biggest, what is it? So tech, yeah, so same tech. I trade off a laptop, and I also use like lots of monitors, and the tools that I use.
Fortunate.
Fortunate. Grateful. The tools that I use, the biggest tool is Huddy.
Here's a bit of a tool, hey?
Yep, exactly. The AI signals. No.
plug.
Yeah, I like to use the magic line and the fib.
Explain the magic line.
The magic line pretty much just shows you where the most orders have been put on the chart. So it gives you like a price range of where the most orders are, and the magic line shows where all the most of the orders are in that range. So it's basically based on order flow.
Right.
So if you trade futures, because it's a regulated market, and everyone that enters on a futures account has to show how many lot sizes they're entering, or like how many contracts they're entering, and so that all shows up in the.
Really?
Yeah, that's how regulated it is. So that's why the magic line is the magic line.
Is that why, like that thing we're watching today about the footprint or whatever?
The footprint, yeah. So similar thing.
Oh, so that's real.
Yeah. So yeah, doing that. There's something called the cumulative volume delta, so the CVD. That's something I've been mucking around with. What else? You have to join the Discord to find out more.
No, let's go.
So if you were to go back and start trading again from the beginning, when you first found out about trading, what would be one thing that you would do to speed up the progress? Like, or one thing you wouldn't do, maybe, that would lead you to where you are now quicker than what it has taken you?
That's actually nice. Like that's a little bit more in depth. Like I like to answer those questions too because it gives your perspective and your opinion on it. I guess for me, if I was to speed up the process, I would hire myself as a mentor. And then I would learn in 2 months. But number one, it would be getting a mentor. 100% I'll get a mentor right from the start. And I figured that out not just with trading, but also with, mindset, or also with PT, personal trainers. You can go into the gym and do everything you want, but also you don't know whether you're getting that progress because, you don't have that professional that's going to tell you this, stay doing this, don't do this. And that's what I think, having a mentor is. So 100% first thing, get a mentor. Something that I wouldn't do starting out is try and learn off YouTube. It's what you have to understand is people that put stuff on YouTube, they're there to help, but they're there to show you the basics so that you can come in and then buy the course. A given because we do the same thing, but it's giving you that insight to what can potentially happen. So I wouldn't try and learn from YouTube. I would watch it, see if it's for you, and then either decide whether you're going to purchase the course, get yourself mentored. But yeah, free information is not valuable information. Free information is marketing these days.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, that's a good one.
So just look for you on TikTok instead.
Yeah, so plug.
It's funny you say that because my thing that I would do is buy the AI signals.
Right.
That's one thing I didn't have from the very start. But if I had bought those signals, because I had other signals and I was like in other groups for like a couple, I was in one group for a month and then another group for a month. And then when I jumped onto AI for a month, because to really get the most out of signals, you got to stay in for a long time just because you're going to catch losses. But to mitigate those losses, you got to be in for the wins as well.
Yeah.
So I would get the AI signals and break down, because with the signals, you guys give like analysis and stuff as well. I would break down the trades and see why you're entering here. And then kind of figure out that strategy, One thing I wouldn't do is
Trade all the sessions.
yeah, trade all the sessions. Yeah, get some sleep, man. Go touch some grass, my guy. Yeah.
Probably one thing that I would do, besides mentoring, is I would probably say journal all the time, journal all your trades, I just heard recently on a podcast that was saying the best book that you could read is your journal, because it's personalized to you.
What podcast was it on? We watched that.
Yeah, that was on the Words of Wisdom one. Yeah.
Oh, Riz. Still go that bit.
But yeah, no, I think it's true, because you can read any book about trading and sometimes if you're good at reading, then yeah, you might understand it. But if you're not good at reading, then it's just not going to click with you. But yeah, the biggest thing is going to be your journal, because you're writing down what you did wrong, what you did right, and so yeah, and then you can learn your mistakes and then try to mitigate them as much as possible. So yeah, I would say journaling. One thing I wouldn't do, or say not to do, would and that's a tough one. Would be
As soon as you look at the market.
I got it now. Would be, as soon as you look at the market, don't get in within the first 5 minutes.
Nice. That's a great piece of advice.
That is great.
Yeah.
Don't get in straight away. Yeah. Yeah, that would be my biggest advice. Don't get in as soon as you think you're looking at the market.
Just touching on your journey, because my whole thing is I would get a mentor right from the start. You've had 4 different mentors, right? What would, obviously that's not something that you would, why?
Why would I not?
Yeah, obviously you had the other mentors, but obviously it's would you say that that's important to you in terms of your trading success, or is it something that those, I guess, mentors didn't help with you or didn't resonate with you, or why did they go wrong and this one worked?
It's all about I think finding a mentor is important, but I reckon finding the right mentor is important. So rather than this is a mentor, he's going to tell me everything I need to know, actually dive deep into that mentor and then actually think, okay, is what he's saying resonating with me, rather than just be oh yeah, this is a mentor, I'm going to get this one. Okay, he's not even resonating with me, let's move to the next one. Because that's what I did with the first 3. Right. Was I got in, and then I just found either one thing that didn't resonate with me, or I found multiple, and I was just okay, this is not working for me, move to the next, until I found the one. So make sure you do
Who was the one?
my journal. Nah. Nah, it was definitely you guys, for sure. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Throw my question back to myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on. I think I, if possible, wouldn't get caught up in a multi-level marketing trading scheme. I wasted time with that, didn't learn a lot, or learnt what would be the wrong thing, so I had to unlearn. And I think unlearning is just as hard as learning. When you learn the wrong things first, and then you find something that works, you have to try and unsee and unlearn those things. So that's very difficult. It wasn't until I found something that resonated and clicked, and again, similar situation to Hari, where I have a very analytical brain and I need to know why. And just telling me to buy when price bounces off this magic line was not suffice for me. It was like, but why? Why does price need to move up from there? You know, there's got to be some logic behind this. It can't just hit a random line and bounce. And so that didn't work for me. And then obviously I kind of fumbled around YouTube for a bit, which, as you mentioned, you know, free is never ideal. And then you end up with too many different kind of things to unlearn. So yeah, if you could find a mentor that resonated with you and just learn one thing, then that would really speed up the progress, as you've seen yourself personally. You haven't had to go through 2 years, 3 years, 4 years of struggle to get to that point and have that aha moment. You were fortunate enough to have that aha very quickly, which is amazing.
Thanks. Thank you.
Obviously doesn't come without hard work, but you know, you've put in the hard work for that. But so yeah, I would definitely find that mentor if possible, which isn't going to be easy. It's probably not going to be the first person you find. You are going to come through, as Slade did, a few different options before you find that one that works for you.
How many strategies do you reckon you had at the start? Like, how many strategies have you been through?
Myself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the group I was in, they sold, or they had a scanner within their course, and so I think that's what held a lot of people in there, because they would teach you on the scanner that only they had access to. So it wasn't an indicator you could download on TradingView or anything like that. It was a specific system that they had made that was a scanner inside their course. And so if you got used to that and trading the system of the scanner, as soon as your, subscription lapsed, you kind of felt like all trading ability was taken off you, because you were flat out on just TradingView and you had no idea how to even use this because you just used their scanner. And so you were like, I know what candles are, but what do I do now? There's no cloud, there's no EMA, there's no thing telling me that this volume's moving higher on this pair or whatever. And then every week, their way to, I guess, keep you in would be to have a new system in play. And so they would have their scanner, but they'd have a new, a new favourite, someone was making the most money with this new system. And so you'd consistently be chopping and changing because you find the next holy grail, You're like, oh, if such and such made 10 grand off that, then I'm going to change what I was doing that was probably working. And I'm going to go to that. And it meant you were just
scam,
and you were just consistently paying for the subscription and going around in circles because next week was the next best thing, and you tried to unlearn all that stuff you learnt in the last month to learn this next week's stuff, and then it was just a consistent.
Holy, oh damn! You guys were put through the blender.
So definitely. And once I took all those rainbow lines off my chart and saw clear, it was like. Like you said in the last podcast, you get to a point where you read it like a book. Like you can sit there without marking anything up and see where we're anticipating to head.
All right. Now we're going to get into the last question. I'm not going to answer this because I answered this in the last podcast, as you guys seen. But it is, we're going to be able to get their opinions and ideas of what they think, and it's going to be very helpful for you. And that question is if you had $1,000 now, if you had $1,000, what would you do as a beginner trader to utilize that money to work best for you coming into this industry?
I thought about this because I asked you last time. $1,000. So $250 on the course on AI, get on the education platform, and then I've got $750 left. I'm going to move that to the side. I'm going to learn for a month, get the strategy down. If I don't have it down, I'm going to spend another $250. So I've got $500 left. So I've got a solid 2 months in the course. I'm going to learn. With the $500 that's left over, I'm going to leave it to the side and trade demo. So I'll be trading demo for those 2 months that I'm in the course. And then until I know that I can crack the market, like I'm confident in going into entries, I've scaled this demo account, at least 10 to 20%. I'm going to deposit that $500 into a live account and then, start building that back up. If I can build that up to $750 again, that's just going to pay for my subscription for AI. So I'm just like, just bringing that money back in, reinvesting in myself to grow as a trader. Nice. That's how I'm flipping that $1,000.
That's nice, bro.
You got $1,000, cuz.
You can say the same shit.
It's funny because, what you said was pretty much how I got in.
Right.
Except I didn't get in the signals, and so I got in. I pretty much had about $1,000, and when I talked to Huddy, and I was like, "Gee, I don't have much, but I want to jump in," and so I just gave him whatever I needed so he could mentor me, and then we pretty much just ran it not almost every single day, but a lot of the time during the week.
Bro, at least 5 times a day would be on call.
Yeah, and then you just hashed it out. So
damn, that's value right there. Holy.
And then after all of that learning, then I was I just rechecked that money back in because I was still working a little bit on the side, and then I was, that $1,000, I'll probably just chuck it all into if we could go back to when I first and he was just mentoring, then I would just chuck in all that $1,000 into just that mentoring, and just because I would know that he knows everything that I need to just cut out, and then I'll just go back to working on the side for a little bit until I make another, and then I'll just reinvest that money into because that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, bro, and I forgot you get signals as part of the course.
You get one channel, so that's plenty enough.
I don't.
It's a hard one, eh? It's definitely a question for thinking. Honestly, probably the same. Invest in yourself more than trying to flip quick money. So most people see $1,000 and go, well, if I can just pay for 1 month, I've got $750 left. If I put that in an account, I can bring that back or double it within the month I'm in the course. And when you need or want money, it doesn't come. So if you're going to sit there and go, I need to make this $250 back that I've just put into the course, and I need that back this month so I can pay for the next month, you're probably not going to make it. You need to give yourself that time. And so I think having $1,000 there and knowing that that's going to get you 5 months, 4 months. It's late. 4 months of the course, or whatever course it is you're doing, whatever mentor it is you're doing, 4 months of education, demo trading. But demo trading for me is a difficult one. I suggest utilising something like FTMO trial.
True.
So with a demo account, you've got no parameters, right? So you can draw down 20 grand, come up 1 grand, close it, and you're like, woohoo, I win. It doesn't count. You wouldn't do that on your account, would you? So an FTMO trial is like a challenge account. Not plugging. No, I'm not accredited at all, but this is what I tell the students. An FTMO trial account gives you that max daily of 5% and that max overall of 10% drawdown. And you also have a target of was it like, I don't know, I can't remember.
8 or 5?
Yeah, I think it's only 5 on the trial. But, you know, you've got a target, you've got a goal, you've got parameters to work within, and you're going to teach yourself that discipline and that trading in a disciplined manner, using stop losses, take profits, etc. And that's going to get you there quicker.
100%.
So within that 4 months, you're likely going to maybe have $250 left to throw in a live account because you're ready within 3 months. You're ready within 2 months. You know.
That's interesting. Because like all of your answers pretty much just indicates learning, indicates investing in the education, indicates, you know, investing in yourself to better yourself, not necessarily, you know, investing in 1 month, putting that $750 in account and trading, you know, and that's what a lot of people do as beginner traders. That's what a lot of people, you know, because like you said, spend that $250, they want to make that $250 back. Realistically, not going to happen. And although like these, you know, videos of people that are flipping $100 accounts into stupid amounts of money, these are seasoned traders. And so getting to that point, you have to be a seasoned trader. So investing into your education is what you want to do. That's us, eh?
That is us.
All right, and that is a wrap for today's episode. A huge thank you to the AI team for coming on to the Big Wick Energy Podcast and sharing your wealth of knowledge and expertise within the field. Very grateful to have you guys on and spending your time. Yeah.
Grateful. Thanks, Bryce. Awesome to have you on the potty finally. You know, and getting a little insight into your analytical brain.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
But yeah, to everyone that's been watching and listening, we hope you found this episode enlightening and motivating, just as we did. If you enjoyed the show, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, hit that noti bell so you never miss an episode.
Stay tuned for more incredible interviews with the industry's top minds. Until next time, keep those wicks big.
Yo, trade strong.
Let's go.
Tell me what you want. What you really want. I wanna be down. Wanna dig it.